can do.
I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it effort.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner here from the Derby Bar and Grill down in South Surrey. I'm your co-host Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the 8-race program here at Hastings on the Sunday, June the 10th date. And our feature race is the Emerald Downs Handicapper, 3-year-old fillies, their first mile and a 16th test. We've seen our Eleanor win the first stakes sprinting.
Yeah, ran really impressive last time to win sprinting. Yeah, now stretch out, see how that works out for everybody. Yeah,
it should be a great day. 8 races on tap. Let's get into the card. I'll start with the first half of the daily double. The first leg of the early pick 4 as well. Kind of a softie for you here, just field of 5. Not too tough of a handicapping event, I don't think. Maiden 10 grand fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th. I'm going to head to the 3 Hillingdon, scratched to them
the
tougher
20
spot
yesterday and for the 10 today.
To run in this spot, definitely searching for a win. She hasn't panned out the way I know the connections would have liked Hillingdon, and I like her to win it on the stretch out. I don't think she'll be all that far out of it. If you look at her race first time out this year, she was only 2 lengths off of Madeira Park that day, and ended up running a good second, so I definitely like this filly's chances. I put the 2 Nataka Del Sol in for second. She's a little more seasoned. She's a 4-year-old. Has to pay the penalty for being a 4-year-old. She packs 124 pounds. But not a great return to the races, return to Hastings. She definitely liked Turf Paradise. She definitely liked the turf as well. But she needs to refamiliarize herself with the dirt and be a little bit better than she was when she lost to Hillingdon on opening weekend. But I think she can rebound. And I put the 4, Perky and Sweats. I think this horse will like the distance change. The Dam de Monegal was very good going along out of the Rob Maben barn, and I see no reason why this one won't flourish as the distances get longer. Her sprint runs were okay, and seemed to be the 3rd best one for me. I went 3, 2, and 4.
Yeah, I think the first 2 in here are pretty, they stand out of the field a little bit, I think. I went with Hillingdon too. I think she is a standout. Hillingdon looks really good in here. I had her pick second in that maiden 20. Now she drops
like her for 10.
Yeah, exactly. Now in for 10 and going long. Everything kind of points to her. Nataka Del Sol is the obvious choice for second spot in here.
Distance will help her.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, now she's had a start over the course this year. I can see her moving up quite a bit in their second start. 3rd spot, I put, I'm a Redhead out of the Rick Terry barn. Rick Terry brought his horses up here from New Mexico. He's a guy from here and had some success in Seattle, then in New Mexico. He's come home, and his horses have all been running good. He's had 3 starts, a second and a third. So for that reason, I put Rick's horse in 3rd. So
yeah, very accomplished horseman. He's the son of former trainer Dennis Terry, who's currently helps the Troy Taylor barn, works in that outfit. No surprise to see them doing well. But good to see Rick back in town after quite a few years in
probably 5, 6, 7 years
Seattle, then down to New Mexico, and very, as I said, a very accomplished trainer. So I'd be surprised to see I'm a Redhead do well.
Yeah, so it's 3, 2, 1 for me, and on to the second race. And we do have non-threes for fillies and mares for 3,000, and I have gone to the 4. I got my sheets a little mixed up here. Holy Cougar, yeah. One of speaking of Troy Taylor, one of his coming in from Golden Gate, and Troy's barn. They kind of went through a little dip there, but they've been really heating up. They had a great weekend last weekend. A horse like this, it comes from Golden Gate. I know they're pretty high on her. For 3,000, I think she fits snugly into this condition. She should be pretty tough in there. So I have her on top. Second spot, I have the 1, BMT. A horse that really suits Amadeo Perez. She was running a little bit higher last time, ran in the 7,500, non-2, non-3, with Dream in the Dark and Tiger's Lily and Songs Royal Diamond.
Yeah, it's a way easier spot.
Yeah, she drops into a much easier spot. I'd have her on top, except for Holy Cougar coming in from Golden Gate. So I've heard second spot, and then third spot, another one that looks pretty good in here is Fun Again. Another one that fits snugly into this non-3, 3,000. Gets the weight off with Marlowe, a little bit of a break on the weight, so have Fun Again in for third, so it's 4, 1, 6 for me.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to elaborate on. I think you hit it right on the head here. I think I went 4, 6, and 1. Holy Cougar, definitely the horse to beat. Those races down in Golden Gate and those non-3, 4s are considerably tougher than the non-3s up here. Yeah. And this horse has worked well since returning. At least there's a lot of positives there. He's got some speed. She won't get in any trouble, so yeah. I like her to win it. I put Fun Again in for second, though, and I put BMT in for third. But those are the 3 horses I think you got to bang on. I went 4, 6, and 1. On to the third race. We've got some maiden optional here. 40 grand is the optional claiming price. going a mile in the 16th, just to field of 5. I went to the 3, Wayland Jack. I think he's the horse that's going to appreciate the stretch out. His races last year, he ran into some pretty good ones. Rocky's Quest, Stormy Canuck, Queen's Vicar, Silver City Sound. I don't know, he just seemed to run into a horse that was kind of peaking at that time.
A tough horse in every race he ran in, yeah.
His sprint runs have been good. He hit High-End Man. He hit an amazing first out of the Pete Gregory barn last time.
Yeah.
The stretch out is going to help Wayland Jack. I think he wins for fun. I put the 5 Sure Cash to the Gilker barn. This horse wouldn't surprise me if he won. That's a lot to ask after one race sprinting to go along, but I know they put a lot of miles into their horses, and it wouldn't shock me at all to see this horse very ready to go. It's not a super tough maiden allowance, but still, I prefer Wayland Jack off of what I see, and I put the 1 Simon Templar in for 3rd. So I went 3, 5, and 1.
I'm right with you. I think Wayland Jack, I think it's his race to lose. I did put Simon Templar in for 2nd spot just because of the experience edge here. If Sure Cash had even another race in or a race going long, I probably would have picked him on top. But because it is his 2nd start and it's going long, I think that's just a bit of a disadvantage for him. So I have him in the 3rd spot. So it's 3, 1, and 5 for me. And on to the 4th, a maiden 20 for 3-year-olds and up. And I have gone to the 7, a first-time starter of the Steve Henson barn, Bertoni. A Bertrando who you know, throws horses that have a lot of speed, horses that are good going short. He's been training really well. You know, the 48 and 1, minute and change, 47 and 3 a little while back. The works are good. He looks like he's a pretty quick little guy. He breaks from the 7s, so he's going to be able to decide where he puts them. So I'd go with the first-time starter of the Steve Henson barn. In old Beato, a guy I think you're going to hear from some noise from here.
He's going to do better. He's got off to
a bit of a slow start, but he can ride. He showed that last week in the Sunday in the first race. Really strong ride to win that one. So I have that one on top. I put a first-time starter of the John Morrison barn, another really solid horseman, a guy who can have him ready to go first out. 50% first start on his tab there. Major level with Alex Marty in the tack. I have him in the 2nd spot. In the 3rd spot, I have Joe Fix horse. Speaking of Rick Terry and a good friend of the show, Joe Fix, I have his horse in 3rd spot, Mr. Majestic, who's back in a week, but ran a tough race against Chapel Boy last week. I think he's on his game too, so I have him in 3rd spot.
I have no idea who's going to win this race.
See, I know this is a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at this one.
This is a race that I can't fall in love with anyone.
It's a head scratcher.
It is. I ended up landing on the 1 horse, Ray's Reno. Horse that bore out, at least the mare, Jess Pinner. I guess I could start from the beginning. The mare, Jess Pinner, can run a bit, and she's pretty nice, so it would be surprising to see her foal have some ability. The muzzle tricks are all right, and this horse showed some speed. They thought enough of her to run her for maiden special, and bore out badly around the first turn. Down the backstretch was pretty much eased. But come back to work.
Toss that one.
Yeah, there's something wrong. Obviously, there's been an adjustment since, either a bit change, a little bit of blink, a little more blink. I don't know. There's been a change because the horse worked. Obviously, was on the stewards list and got off the stewards list by working in 103, and obviously everything was a-okay. Tyler Walker was aboard for that work that morning, and the horse has some speed. That might be good enough from the rail. That's why I'm going to lean to that one. Mr. Majestic is jumping up from maiden 10 into the maiden 20, but you're right, did run well for our buddy Joe Fix and Rick Terry. But in Strong Reality of the Rennie Lumsden barn has some speed. So there's 3 kind of pace horses and a bunch of horses that haven't run and haven't shown anything yet. So it's kind of a very difficult handicapping assignment. Definitely one that you got to go to the paddock and watch
have a look.
Have a peek. If you're playing the race, definitely have a look in the paddock at these horses, because that might tip you off and something might be pretty live.
I know too, sorry to interrupt, that Pedro Alvarado did have a few options in here, and he did go with the 6 Strong Reality. So
Rennie can train. Rennie's got some nice horses. Rennie can get a horse to run.
Yeah, he can. He gets a lot out of him.
A lot of people don't know about him. He's
very underrated, kind of off the radar guy.
Yeah, he trained for the Shaws up in Kamloops, and he's a good horseman, and it wouldn't shock me at all to see this horse like. Because this isn't a tough maiden 20.
No.
So, but he did take a shot on Ray's Reno at a Cindy Krasner barn. They're due to heat up, and just on the fact that he's dropping, perhaps a little bit of an equipment change, got off the stewards list, and not a tough field. So I went 1. I put Mr. Majestic in for 2nd, and I like Major Level out of the mare Are You Irish, who was pretty nice. Ryan Diott used to have the horse, and kind of a cool mare. and I wouldn't be surprised to see her full have some ability. But I want 1, 4, 3. On to the 5th race. Do have some $7,500 condition claimers here going 6.5 furlongs. I see a pile of speed in here, Drew. I see Mass Mailing going. I see Lookout Dubai, Brandon's Courage. I think Dangerous Pleasure is going to take back off the pace and make one run, and I'm hoping that's the way the horse is ridden. If they ride him a little quiet and sit back and make a run, because this race is prior to coming to Hastings, that's kind of the way he ran, a little bit off the pace. He narrowly lost to Navajo Night, a horse owned by Lance Giesbrecht, actually.
Yeah.
After setting the pace, and then last time made a bit of a premature move out wide going along, and I just think the return to a sprint may help Dangerous Pleasure, and I'm going to try him over the 2 Texas Buccaneer. I'm going to hope for a hot pace. Texas Buccaneer, not a great horse going 6.5 furlongs, but a horse that will appreciate a hot pace. I'd put Mass Mailing, I think he'll hang around for 3rd, but I like Dangerous Pleasure. I went 3, 2, and 5.
I went with the 5 Mass Mailing, just because I think he's the best horse in the race.
Yeah, good run last time.
Yeah, really strong run last time. So I put Mass Mailing on top just because, for the class factor, I think he's the tough horse. The 2nd spot, I put Prophet Star, a horse that ran a really good race last time to Ice Rules, who was a really hot horse. He dropped in that day for 7,500, just got beat, comes right back for 7,500. Picks up Enrique Gonzalez, who's starting to heat up, a nice accomplished rider that's new to our colony here this year. And in 3rd spot, I put Brandon's Courage, another speed horse. But he ran a bang-up race to break his maiden. Then he went long, and going long just wasn't his thing.
I had to try it, and they
they went try it. Yeah, exactly. He didn't like it, so now he's back to sprinting. So I like the route to sprinting angle. So I think he's in the thick of it here. I don't know if there is a lot of speed in here, so I don't know if he can hang on. But I think he'll make some noise early, and maybe he can hang on, pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do with Lookout Dubai, the 6 horse, a horse that can probably win very easily. Here's a horse that went in 16 and change last year, and I don't want to totally dismiss him in this race, because this is just not a race. If you're playing the pick fours, this is definitely a race to go 3 or 4 deep or 5 deep, because this is not an easy one at all. Because my picks are based on a hot pace, and maybe there won't be one. Maybe someone will sneak away and get a length lead, and everyone will sit back off of that one, and then, ooh, Lookout Dubai, maybe the one on the lead would be awfully tough. So it was kind of a tough race to handicap.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses in here. A lot of horses in here I wouldn't be surprised to see win, for sure.
Yeah, no, but definitely don't forget about Lookout Dubai for your pick fours and pick fives. On to the 6th. On to the 6th. The Fillies and Mares, optional 35. Another bang-up race here. And a lot of accomplished horses in here. I went with the new comer to Hastings Park, Heidi Maria. It was a private purchase for the Dave Forrester barn. She was running in first condition allowances at Santa Anita and making some noise in those. She got beat by 11 last time, but she did run 2nd, ran into a freaking Rock and Glory. Obviously, this is going to be a little bit easier than those first condition allowances at Santa Anita, where you run into some pretty tough horses. So I do have her in 1st spot. She was well backed in a lot of her races down there too, which is interesting to note. So I do have her in 1st spot. She's been training really well since she got here. The 2nd spot, I have Tierra del Fuego. One that I could put on top, and she's been training really well and just got beat. She got kind of the brutal trip last time going out wide. Terlani snuck through on the fence and beat her. It looked like she was still going to catch her, but couldn't get to her. But she just had the one race and now going long again. So I'm not sure if it's an ideal scenario for her, but this race came up. It's where she fits. Right. And in the 3rd spot, I have Dashing Daisy. A horse that's been running in stakes, was top mare here last year. Hasn't been running great in the stakes this year, the 8th by 6. But that was on a sloppy, kind of an ugly track last time. Not necessarily it's going to be any better this weekend. No, but still, the company's going to be easier.
But yeah, the company's going to be a lot easier, so I have her in 3rd spot. So it's 6-4-2 for me.
Yeah, I see it. I went to the 2 Dashing Daisy. I don't love the horse, but I can see her winning. She's a pretty cool mare that won 6 of 9 last year, and I know she has to get on track. It's been a while since she's run a good race, and she's been put in some pretty tough spots, and she finally gets into a spot where maybe she'll be the boss. We'll see. Yeah. I put the 4 Tierra del Fuego in for 2nd, and I know Barb wanted to have another sprint into her, ideally before sending her along, but didn't get afforded that luxury. But if you don't go now, you're going to wait, and the next one will be long or something.
Hopefully,
so I mean,
you exactly.
You got to go
for a while.
It was a very good runner-up effort to Terlani, and she's been off a year. She's not without her problems. And that's why she's only run 5 times in the last 3 years. So it's but a filly that has a lot of ability. She's very talented, and wouldn't shock me to see her win it. No, put the 5 PS Touchdown in. That's another one that I think will like the stretch out. If she gets left alone on the head end, maybe things could go her way, but she's a filly that ran well. I thought the Trelawney and Tierra del Fuego last time as well. But I didn't know what to do with Heidi Maria. I know it's those are straight non-winners of one of the Vans, and
she's running against horses
they're not
that win a lot
optional,
races,
but they're not optionals though. Like this is an optional. Like you can be in for the 30, and you get some tough horses in these 30s. And but we'll see. But there's four or five talented fillies in here that have a big chance. So once again, not a tough race to key or anything, or even to narrow it down to a couple. But I went to the 2 Dashing Daisy over the 4 Tierra del Fuego, and then put the 5 PS Touchdown in for third. On to the 7th race, the Emerald Downs Handicap. 3-year-old fillies going a mile and 1/16. First kind of distance test for those fillies that are heading to the BC Oaks, hopefully in September. The big race for the championship race for the 3-year-old fillies. I've gone to the 4R Eleanor. Pretty impressed with her 2 runs to date here at Hastings. She's been powerful in both of them. Very good in defeating Ouch and Sunnyside Gal in a race that she got into quite a bit of trouble at the quarter pole, re-rallied and got the money. And then in the Ross McLeod, benefited from a very hot pace. Vino Terra and Claire's Measy just kind of cooked each other, and our Eleanor was well back and made a nice run under Amadeo Perez to win it. And I think she's going to be really tough again. I put the 1A Evelyn's Dancer in for second. I had every shot to win, but still she hadn't run since New Year's Eve almost, and that was her first race in a while, but still she had the good trip in behind the speed, but was only second best. I think she's one that could improve. And I put the 5-horse Sunny Soloro in for third, a filly that broke her maiden last time, did it quite convincingly. I think she really wants to go long. I know last year when she went long, it was a lot to ask. She broke her maiden in late August, had quite a bit of time off before October 1st. Did get a little shinny or come out with some buck shins in the race. So I mean, I know there was a reason for that poor performance, and she's one that should make her presence felt, maybe in the Tri-Actors in this race going long. But I went 4, 1, and 5.
There's always that long break when you break your maiden as a 2-year-old.
Oh, it never fails when you want to go long.
Yeah, there's always one that has to wait and wait and wait for it.
Because the Futurity was in August, she didn't even get a chance to get in the Futurity, and yeah, it was kind of a tough go for her. But you know, obviously, Barb liked her enough to run her in a stake race as a maiden, and she's she's a really nice filly, but still she's running against some nice fillies in here.
Definitely on the improve too. Ran in that 4th in the first one, comes right back, makes no mistake in the next one. So she's going the right way. I cheated. I went with the entry here. I just put the entry. You put Evelyn's Dancer, the 1A. I put entry on top. Yeah. But Evelyn's Dancer is the one I like, just because last race, our Eleanor had a race under her belt, which was an impressive race, mind you, that allowance race where she got in a lot of trouble, got out and won. But I just think Evelyn's Dancer needed the race, and I think she's going to be, with a race under her belt, I think she's going to be really tough in here. She's a really nice filly. I know the Taylor Barn's high on her, and the Taylor Barn, as I mentioned earlier, is starting to really go the right way. And City's another one they have in here that can make some noise too. She ran a really good bang-up race a couple weeks ago in an allowance race. But I do have Evelyn's Dancer, the entry, on top. Our Eleanor in second spot. I think it's definitely between those two. Those are the two tough ones. And I put Dance with the Wind out of the Carl Lawson barn, a really honest little filly who's ran twice this year, and they were both bang-up races. Yep. So, her, and I think the distance isn't going to hurt her either. So going long, maybe she makes a little noise in here. I got her in the 3rd spot. So it's the entry 1 with 4 and 2 for me. And on to our last race, the nightcap of the weekend.
Some lovely little maiden girls here.
Maiden girls for 3,000 fillies and mares. And I've gone to the way outside, well, not way outside, it's only 8 horses, but the outside, the 8-horse Tactical Terra. A horse that's been improving with every start. And Kelly Rycroft is having a great meet.
Yeah, he's on fire.
He's on fire. 31%. Kelly Rycroft's having a great meet. They're all running really good. Mercado, the first race. And they're paying good, too. So if you're following Kelly, you've been
got a good ROI.
Well rewarded this year. Got Beato in the irons, so I take Kelly on top. In the 2nd spot, I have the 2 Majestic Woman out of the Robbie Anderson barn. Another barn going very well this year. A very seasoned horse, the 21-time maiden.
You're being too kind.
Is maybe why I don't have Majestic Woman on top. She is a bit of a bridesmaid, or he is a bit of a bridesmaid. So I have him in the 2nd spot. And in the 3rd spot, I have Foxy Finale out of the Steve Henson barn. A horse, another one that's only making its 4th start, but has been improving. Bang up 2nd to Hula Hoop Girl, who's a decent little filly at this level last time. So I have Foxy Finale in the 3rd spot. It's 8, 2 and 7 for me.
I'm going to land on the 3-horse Sisterelle. I'm hoping the Hula Hoop Girl is the live race. She had a tough trip. She had the 9-hole, was 3 and 4 wide throughout the entire race. Still managed to stay for 4th. I like that when I see that at Hastings. When you get those horses that run 4th, and they had some excuses and were wide out, and she did. She had some excuses. Not crazy about the fact she was scratched the other day, but I'm hoping everything's okay. But moves inside to the 3-hole. I'm going to take her to win it. I put the 7 Foxy Finale, who ran second to Hula Hoop Girl, but had a perfect trip. Had the rails run. So for my money, I think the 3 Sisterelle ran a better race than the 7 Foxy Finale, even though they finished a couple lengths apart. But I definitely think the 3 and 7 are the horses. And I put your 8-horse Tactical Terra in for 3rd. You're right, Kelly Rycroft going very well. Good 3rd to Victoria B in Market Time. Definitely the live race. That was a pretty fast time as well. And just a little concerned about the 8-hole, but maybe Beato can get it. Beato can get her in decent position from that outside gate. So I went 3, 7, and 8. Up next on screen will be our selections for our Sunday, June the 10th. Here come my picks. In the first race, I went to the 3-horse Hillingdon with the 2 and 4. In the second race, I went to the 4 Holy Cougar, short price, likely a short price favorite, 4-6-1. In the third race, I went to the 3 Whalen Jack, 3-5-1. In the fourth race, I went to the 1 Rays Reno. I'm going to take a shot in a wide open race. That fourth race, a toughie. I went 1, 4, and 3. In the fifth race, I went to the 3 Dangerous Pleasure over the 2 Texas Buccaneer and the 5 Mass Mailing. In the sixth race, I went to the 2 Dashing Daisy over the 4 and 5. In the seventh race, the Emerald Downs Handicap went to the 4 R Eleanor, see if she can become a 2-time stakes winner over the 1 and 5. And in the 8th and final, I went to the 3 Sisterelle over the 7 and 8.
And on to my picks. There we go. In the first, I agree. I went with the 3 Hillingdon over the 2 and 1. In the second, I went with the 4 Holy Cougar over the 1 and 6. In the third, number 3, Whalen Jack over the 1 and 5. I agree with Mike on the first 3 here. And then we get to that crazy fourth race. I went with the first-time starter, number 7, Bertorni over the 5 and 4. The fifth race, number 5, Mass Mailing over the 2 and 7. In the sixth race, a newcomer to Hastings, Heidi Maria, number 6 over the 4 and 2. In the seventh race, I went with the strong entry, the Troy Taylor entry, number 1 over the 4 and 2. And in the eighth race, I went with number 8, Tactical Terra, over the 2 and 7.
Well, that'll do it for the Sunday, June the 10th edition of Handicappers Corner. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today. We wish you lots of luck in your wagers. Hopefully, you end the day with a little more money in your wallet than you had to begin the afternoon.
Hopefully, if you're watching this on Sunday, we're all sipping champagne and celebrating the Triple Crown winner.
Yes, that'd be cool. So enjoy what should be a great weekend here at Hastings. On behalf of Drew, Mike Heads, and we look forward to seeing everyone next Friday when racing resumes here at Hastings. And we'll be back here on Handicappers Corner then. Our show will air approximately at 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. So we'll see you then.
Cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. So make it F&'s 10. He wins it by a half. According to this here in the telegram.